This is Voice of the People 90.3 FM. A very beautiful morning to everyone. And of course, welcome to the show. And of course, well, it's a beautiful morning. 10:34 p.m. Today, a.m., I beg your pardon, a.m. All right, today is the 20th day in the month of June 2024. Yeah, like I said, beautiful morning to you. Hey, friends, my name is Jude, Ikami Jude. And of course, right here in the studio, have a journalist and a security expert in the studio. He is Joseph Folorenshaw. Good to have you join us on the show again this morning.
Well, thank you very much for, as usual, having me. And I think I from the news I learned that there's a new. I don't know if you've seen it. That the old now old national anthem. Assuming we need to adopt that very one, according to our very distinguished senior president. Yeah. The issue of kidnapping and banditry would have not come. So the new national anthem now, is it old but new?
Anyone
national will help us to wipe away issue of. I think what I will not be doing time hungry. I will just sing the old but new national anthem. And the hunger will just disappear.
Well, that's why we want to have this beautiful discussion this morning. But then, joining us quickly is an associate professor of sociology in the University of Lagos. He is Dr. Waziri Babatunde Adisa. Yeah. A very, very beautiful and a wonderful morning to you from the studios of Voice of the People 90.3 FM. Hello? Yeah, we can hardly hear you. Uh-oh. Okay, I think we need to sort out some issues here. Maybe from your end. Is this from your end? But can you hear me? Oh, your mic is muted. Yes. Your mic is muted. Okay, maybe you just unmute it, then we put up a conversation as quickly as possible. Well, let me know when you're back, okay? Thank you very much. Okay. He's here. Can you hear me? Your mic is still muted.
Okay, sorry.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Good morning, Nigerians. Good morning, distinguished journalists in the studio.
Good to have you join us. Good to have you join us.
Thank you, sir.
Exactly. All right. Let's get talking quickly. There are a couple of things we needed to, touch on before we go today. Kidnappings in Nigeria. A couple of this, I had the opportunity of speaking with a professor in the University of Benue State University. Right?
Yeah.
Yes,
right.
exactly. And we took time to, a lot of moments to discuss security issues in Nigeria. And if you want to look at the economy, the Nigerian economy right now, you will discover that what is affecting the economy is actually insecurity. All right. And every day we hear kidnappings, and we begin to wonder what is really going on. Is it that the federal government has nothing to do about it? It's growing from the urban areas, from the rural areas that we used to know to the urban areas. And now, even in Lagos, people are scared even going out on daily basis. So tell us what you know about the level of insecurity in Nigeria, where we are now, and where you think we will be if it is not nipped in the bud. Talk to us.
Okay. Good morning once again. Kidnapping is the act of forcefully taking over someone or a group of persons, for monetary benefits or other benefits. And so you have different types of kidnapping. And it is from that angle or perspective that we will know the causes of kidnapping. So we have kidnapping for ransom. We have kidnapping for ritualism.
Okay.
We have state kidnapping, state abduction. That was common under the military. You have kidnapping for cult killings. You have kidnapping for ritualism. And so you have kidnapping for political purposes, and then you have kidnapping for political bargain. So, but the one that concerns us now is kidnapping for ransom, which is being used by organized criminals to cause insecurity, fear, trauma, and so on and so forth. Now, what is the history? Because if we don't understand the history, we will not understand the causes.
Of course.
Kidnapping is as old as human race. In fact, when we were young, we would be our parents would say that you should beware of Yoruba society, Bomo, and the rest of them.
Okay.
Kidnapping for ritualism was common.
Okay.
In rural communities. But what is the origin of kidnapping for ransom today that we have today? So kidnapping for ransom can be traced to the crisis in the Niger Delta in the 90s. When the Niger Delta militants, 90s and early 2000s, when the Niger Delta militants, organized rebels or rebellion against, those who were exploiting oil resources in the region without, compensating adequately the people, that own the oil. So the crisis lingered on for years under the military, post-military. And after that, after the federal government was able to reduce the crisis in the Niger Delta, one of the problems that one created was it created an opportunity for arms to be available freely. In a study that I carried out in 2019 in a paper that I published with one of the publishers, I found that illicit arms came into Nigeria, used to come into Nigeria through the Niger Delta region because of the crisis there. So one of the things that crisis would do for your country, if care is not taken, is it allows free arms to enter your country. The same thing with Boko Haram insurgency. The years that Boko Haram insurgency was active in the northeastern region, Boko Haram insurgency allowed free arms to enter the country. And so the consequence of free arms is that these arms will get to different youths who are already, opposed to the state because of the high level of poverty. So after the federal government was able to reduce the crisis in the South, gradually kidnapping for ransom became, a major crisis in the Southwest. And when we say the Southwest, majorly Lagos State. You could hear of this kidnapper Evans.
Billionaire Evans.
So that time became an issue, and what they were even demanding for was dollar.
Okay.
Look at that period. Look at this period, demanding for dollar at a time when dollar naira rate was even lower. So it was a major problem then, but we didn't see it as such. We just thought that in Lagos, kidnapping, was like armed robbery, but now it's a major problem. In my interview yesterday, I said that Lagos is at risk, high risk, because of the state of the economy. Kidnapping, banditry, armed robbery are all indicators of a bad economy. When your economy is bad, you are vulnerable. You are at risk of economic-related crimes. Kidnapping for ransom is an economic-related crime. So, and if you look at Lagos now, Lagos is epicenter, is the commercial nerve center of the country. So people will be rushing, down to Lagos for, greener pasture, for employment. And for those who could not secure employment, they have to go for criminal enterprise that will enable them to survive. And here is a city that is vulnerable to poor, I would say poor control of internal migration.
Let me come in here first before I get to Mr. Followinshaw, who is with me in the studio. He's also a security expert. Now, let's look at it. Yesterday, I was having a discussion after, a research, that I was into, or I've been into that for a couple of months now. I've been researching on something, but then I went out to seek people's opinion, and I also had to call some persons in the north to ask why this. Okay, look at it. Where I'm actually heading to is the fact that if you look at these Fulani headsmen, they are women before. They're used to, selling fura de nono. You remember? To Nigerians.
Definitely.
Yes.
Definitely.
And their women used to, they were industrious. They can even give you, a cock free of charge. The way they behaved then. They were so down to earth. They were so, civil and all of that. And now, if you notice, we no longer get fura de nono. You're right, because these women are off the market. They no longer sell, nono to people. Now, this is because the idea of kidnapping has sunk into them, especially their men. Some, not everyone I'm talking about, but where I'm going to is, why do you think that the federal government or state government is handicapped, in treating or taking care of these menaces in the society?
Okay, you mean other farmers' conflicts?
Of course.
You have to look at the roots. We just concluded the study on that one, a national study on other farmers' conflicts. You look at the roots. The root of the current crisis is deep and complex. First, you look at climate change. Climate change has necessitated that the Fulani herders move from the north to the south, in search of good, pasture for food for their cattle. Now, the implication is that they will want to rear their cattle on the farmlands of the sedentary farmers, and this will cause infringements. And look at it, the Land Use Act grants the governors the right to control the land within their various states.
Okay.
Unlike before, when during colonial era, there were grazing routes. Grazing routes were created for the pastoralists to move their cattle. But since 1978, that authority has now been vested rather in the governors. So there is no way the federal government can guarantee that cattle be moved freely. So open grazing, that's the root of the crisis. Open grazing is the root of the crisis. In as much as the pastoralists move their cattle freely, there will be clashes between the others and the farmers.
Okay.
Then that's one part of the crisis. The second one is the problem of ethnicity. The problem of ethnicity. Samuel Huntington published an article, maybe 1996, The Clash of Civilization. Increasingly, people are identifying with their ethnic groups, religious groups, civilizations. And so this interest in ethnic identity, religious identity, is adding to the current tension in the world generally, including Nigeria.
Okay.
So any small issue at the economic context will escalate to
Thank you.
Religious context.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes.
Let me get to the man in the studio now. And before I do that, let me just give a little breakdown of some of these things we've been talking about. For the benefit of those who are just joining us. Twice in a week or even more, gangs of, motorcycle riding armed men operating from the forest in two different, places in the north of the country kidnapped hundreds of people. First, we got the news from a remote town in Borno State in the northeast that suspected, militant Islamists had seized women and children from a displaced persons camp who were taken or rather a displaced persons camp who were searching for firewood. It took several days for the news to emerge because the local mobile phone mast had been destroyed. Then the following day, more than 280 children aged between 8 and 15, and some teachers were taken away by gunmen from a school, hundreds of miles away in the northwest or western state of Kaduna, inside a nearby forest. Now, this is forest. Now, there are reports locally that this attack, was carried out by militants from the Al-Qaeda-linked Ansaru group. And in recent months, there had been a lull in this type of mass kidnapping that had plunged Nigeria since the notorious, abduction of nearly 300 girls from a school in Chibok in April 2014, which captured international headlines. But now, it's deja vu as the 10th anniversary of that tragedy looms. The mass abduction in Kaduna is the biggest, from a school since 2001. Let me come down to present day Nigeria. The way you hear, the manner at which you hear about kidnappings in Nigeria, one would wonder, from one forest to the other, You are a security expert, Mr. Folorunsho. Don't you think, or is it not high time for the government to look into our forests? Specifically look into our forests. Some time ago, they were talking about drones. We know see them, we know hear them. It was just spoken. We just heard drones, and that's all. Even in Abuja, you remember they said they want to plant cameras, whatever, and spend $400 and how many $1 million and all of that. Up until now, nothing. But I want us to critically look at the forest, because that's where they take their victims to for ransom and all of these things. Now, what do you think? Why is the federal government not looking at the forest one? And what do you think they should do even more to improve security in the Nigerian forests? Because, okay, again, we cannot even go to our farms. People are scared going to farms. They're going to tell you, "Na inside bush for the do." We can't go anywhere. So it means there should be a sort of surveillance. I don't know. Talk to us, please.
I think first, I patiently listened to a very respected doctor, associate professor Waziri Adisa. The first thing I will say is we have some states or some individual in government are yet to agree that this is a challenge. Now, if you compare the way the kidnapping issue is being handled from state to state, it's quite different. If you look at Lagos State, something happened within the water going to Ikorodu. Some people were going to Ikorodu and they were kidnapped. You see the state, Lagos State government be on their toes. And even, I think yesterday, the governor had to issue a statement that those individuals must be arrested. We show that the governor is taking it upon himself and said, this thing must stop. There are some other states, you understand, they are even making effort to play it down as if it is not an issue. Look at you, a journalist, how I'm a journalist. Many times you see some report from security agency, journalists are overhyping issue of insecurity in Nigeria. And you are helpless. When security agencies are coming out with that kind of statement, sometimes you try to be careful. I would try to be careful because, it is easy for them to invite someone for a tea, which you don't even ask for, and for them to now release that journalist become a different thing entirely. We show that even some of the press, some of our colleagues who want to say, this is our country, let's join us together, let's work with the security agency and see how we can salvage this situation. It's as if you are now on the wrong side of the security agency, and they will tell you, I've got a course several times, you are overhyping this security issue in Nigeria. And they themselves know that it is not overhyping. We are just reporting. And
I think we're even underreporting insecurity in Nigeria.
To the extent I was talking to one security, very senior person, I said, are you not concerned that in Katsina, in Edo State, in other states, there was a time that a DPO was kidnapped, a deputy commissioner,
a DPO,
a divisional police officer was kidnapped, and Abuja first just normal go as usual, as if nothing is not a big deal. And I told him, I said, sir, apart from if it is maybe civilian, I'm not saying that proving that you should be kidnapping civilian, but for someone, an individual, to have the courage to kidnap an officer, Abuja, the security agency would have been on red, on red, and said, you know what, enough is enough.
But what happened?
No, it's still, the kidnapping is still there. Go to interact with someone in Benue yesterday. Then practically the federal government know, the state government know that a lot of people cannot go to their farm. I don't think you need to bring an investor from abroad to say, for the president to call the IGP and say, you know what, I give you 3 months. Make all the farm safe for farmer to go to the farm. If a farmer like you want to stay in the farm for 1 month, 2 months, that is his own entitlement.
If you want them to go that way, they will create a very big budget.
No.
Very huge budget.
I don't mind. They have to justify it. If the farm is safe, a lot of time government come to assist in paying ransom. Forget about say we don't pay ransom. We know because when kidnapping take place, the question we do ask as a journalist is this rescue or release? And you know these are two ways that it's a different approach.
Of course.
But, people will come. We did not pay. The government did not pay ransom. But many times ransom has been paid, whether go through government or through the family of those individuals. So as far as I am concerned, we are yet to agree that kidnapping is an issue. Then the second one is how, I don't know how government do sleep. When it happens to any of them, urgent attention is a serious approach, they get the person released. But when it happens to people like me and you, it becomes a different thing entirely. Then the other one is we are yet to have the data of the number of kidnapping everywhere. What is wrong if federal government has okay, we want to check this kidnapping issue. Every state, we need the record of the survivor of those that were incarcerated.
Just like the FRSC have,
yes, those that were incarcerated and those that were released, so that we have the demography. Then we now that we even other country that want to support us. We now say, okay, let us deploy knowledge and we have some wonderful Nigeria. Look at Associate Professor Waziri Adisa. I met this one of this a clinical psychology Dr. Charles Ume. He's a clinical. I think he was even the chairman of Association of Clinical Psychology in Lagos. When these guys have been, these are wonderful love ones have been released. Who interact? Did they meet a counselor? Nobody. They just the person have been released. Nobody found to look for a way to say, okay, maybe they say, so let's organize a trauma setting center interaction with this. You are left practically live on your own if you like. The story or the situation which will be coming to your mind every second, you're on your own. So for me, kidnapping may continue if we are yet to agree that this is an issue. But thank God in Lagos, it's a different approach entirely. You know, there was a time there was a kidnapping of some people, some schools, kidnapping some schools. Lagos State government make effort to show that this should be a stop, make effort to stop it. But you see, there are some states that they will kidnap this month, even possibly next month or next week.
No, the next day.
The next day, okay. But we need state governors or state government to say, you know what, if Lagos is making effort to see how to check this, then I think we can call it copy Lagos.
Dr. Waziri Adisa, let me get to you now. You know, he's becoming. Are you there? Hello.
I'm here with you.
Okay, thank you so much. No, you know, this whole thing is becoming is becoming, you know, commerce. I call it commerce for some young men in our country now, as in people willingly go into kidnapping, and they call it business. And when they tell you business is booming, they're talking about the business of kidnapping is booming. You know, some go as far as, well, if you cannot pay the ransom, all they need to do is just to get some vital parts from the, you know, the kidnapped body.
Some request for drug. Yes, some kidnappers they request for drug. If you know you cannot bring money, they will tell you the particular type of drug and the quantity. If you're able to bring it.
Oh, really?
Yes.
So, Dr. Adisa, what I'm now asking is, what should we do at this point in time to discourage our youths? because the business for them is becoming so viable, beautiful, good. You know, the owner just to enter one small bush, wait for one small picking or anything, and just carry. Then and money will come out. What do we do? What should the federal government do, or the state or the local government do? Or maybe you want to say let's get down to the chiefs, the ballers and all of it. But general question is, what do you think we can do to reduce this crime, this kidnapping, especially in our villages?
As a sociologist, I would look at the economy first.
Okay.
Good economy will produce good products. Bad economy will produce bad products. The economy is in a bad state. Young graduates cannot secure jobs. Those who secured jobs are poorly paid. Those who are employed are either on contract employment, or they are not sure that their jobs will be seized from them in the next 5 years. So generally, youth's unemployment must be addressed. That's number one. Number two, high cost of living, created by this fuel subsidy removal, inflation. High cost of living in the country must be addressed. In advanced countries where you have low level of organized crime, the economy is in a good state. They work hand in hand. You can't deter criminals and then leave the economy in a bad state. You deter them, you enforce the law, but you must provide what they will eat. Naturally, individuals who are frustrated will go into crime. And that statement has been confirmed by several theories. That go, for instance, relative deprivation, says that the cause of political violence, including kidnapping, is frustration, relative deprivation. When people look at their colleagues, the children of the rich, they live in Lekki, Banana Island, big places. They have good cars, they have good jobs, and they are graduates. You have graduates who come from poor homes, who cannot secure jobs, who are not employed. Some have been out of school for the past 10 years. They have not been employed, never been employed. And nobody is planning for them. So how do you want them to survive? So federal government, the state governors must address this urgently. There must be balanced development. That's number one. Number two, you need to have data. Without data, you can't plan. I said it yesterday, crime statistics, you can't even assess them. And if you assess crime statistics, you need more than crime statistics because they are dark figures. Dark figures are crimes that are not reported to the police, crimes that are not disclosed by the people out of fear, out of repeat victimization, out of stigmatization, out of other problems. So you need to conduct risk assessment, national risk assessment on the incidence of kidnapping in Nigeria. We need it. So when this is conducted, you will be able to see clearly the states that are more vulnerable. Then you will see the types of kidnapping that we mentioned. For instance, in Lagos, the trend of kidnapping that you are likely to see in the next years based on theoretical analysis and incident reports in newspapers and the rest is elitist kidnapping. They are not likely to experience mass kidnapping like the one you experience in the north, but you are likely to experience kidnapping of individuals, the target travelers, in areas where the police cannot access on time, where you have bad roads. Look, Lagos between 1861, when the colonialists, first place, introduced colonialism, and 2024, should we still have a Lagos that lacks good roads? Since 1960, let's say independence to to 2024? Should we be saying that we have Lagos that has bad roads, communities without water? What are we doing to address all of this? What are we doing to address internal migration? People are moving into the city almost on a daily basis. And it's because, the economy of Lagos is booming and the rest, but they are not, aware that infrastructure will be overstretched. And so when infrastructure is overstretched, the challenge is people resort to crime in order to survive, because not everybody will be engaged. So the government must address urban planning. That's for Lagos.
Okay.
For those of us outside Lagos, Ogun, Oyo, we must strengthen our local security networks, our native intelligence, Amotekun. Recently, I traveled, along Ibadan Expressway and the rest. You will see vehicles of Amotekun, but few vehicles. So how do you intend to have large-scale coverage, security coverage of these areas? Deploy technology, work with communities, and I'm sure that we are going to go far.
Okay. Thank you so very much. This is Voice of the People, 90.3 FM. And of course, in case you're just joining us, I have Joseph Folorunshah, who is a journalist and a security expert with me. And I am also having a discussion alongside with Associate Professor of Sociology in the University of Lagos, Dr. Waziri Babatunde Adisa. In case you're just joining us, you can feel free to drop your message on our WhatsApp portal. Yeah, don't forget, the number is 081 717 56338. 081 717 56338. And anytime soon I'll get to open up the studio lines and also get your responses, okay? But then we're talking about insecurity in Nigeria. Another thing we should also look at is the issue of banditry in Nigeria. No, it has gone from one name to another. Now we now use bandits, coming to kidnap. Bandits, the idea of bandits. Let me get to Folorunshah here in the studio. This word we use, bandits, is it right? I mean, are we? When you hear bandits, what comes to your mind?
To me, these are a criminal element. Like what I do say is, Nigeria, there are some criminal narrative that we play down, and it's only God that know why we are doing like that. Even sometimes you see comedians making issue when they announce the issue of the ban, the energy issue. They call it ban A, ban B, and the rest of them. We actually turn it to become what's your band? You're on which bandit levels and the rest of. We show that
it's okay.
We as Nigeria, we are not very, very serious, and when we talk of how to check crime, and we show that again we really appreciate life. It's only in Nigeria that maybe accident will happen, some people die, it's just business, everybody continue with his or her normal business. I think it is time for government to sit down, let us educate ourselves, and what is a crime we should not make it to be like, we should not trivialize. So if you look at some of these bandit activity places that because they want to mine some of the natural resources from those states, and because they want to do it illegally, they equally make an effort to prepare if the state want to prevent them not to be able to do that. I think why it is very prominent in Nigeria is a lot of rich people, let me put it that way, rich people now engage some young people to help them to extract some of these natural resources, and they use it either for export, they export those things, and the money enter their pocket. It's only when it is crude oil, which is become like a national asset for every one of us, whereby the Niger Delta is we are saying that no, it cannot be for only that region. So it's as if, to me, I think it is time for Nigeria to sit down, or the government to sit down and say, okay, if we are mining the crude oil for everyone, some of those good, some of those other products in Jos and the rest of them, we should be able to, government should be able to take control of those, not individual, because those individuals want to resist any arrest from the government.
All right. You see, one basic thing, Dr. Adisa, is that you see, insecurity in Nigeria is a recurring phenomenon. Yes, whether we like it or not, and it threatens the well-being of the Nigerian people. You know, the bane of all of these things is that some people want to get rich quick. It's now from MMM to, you know, for some persons it's like more than a Ponzi scheme. You know, now it is not by our youths alone. Let me break this down. Do you know that forests around Lagos is no longer safe? If they fit kidnap people on top water, waiting remain around Ikorodu area. Maybe
Ijegu, one of my friends was kidnapped. They took him to forest in Ijegu side, and the guy, luckily for him, do you know that the kidnapper took him to a bank in Ikotu? The guy withdrew 1 million, and now do undertaking that is a Sienna vehicle now belong to the guys. That way he was able to got his freedom.
Whoa!
Yes, they took him to the bank. The last alphabet in the bank I have start with the last alphabet. They took him there. I was just okay, and you have police in that bank. We have private security there. Nobody can actually look at this guy. So I think this guy is under siege. You understand? So it's a difficult situation for every one of us. So the forest become like a feed, a resource place for maybe some of these criminal elements, because we are not using the forest for the benefit of the country.
That is where I want to draw the opinion. I will get the opinion of the doctor here. Would you say poverty is also a phenomenon? Is one of the reasons? Is it one of the causes of banditry or of kidnapping? Because someone will tell you, even if I'm hungry, no matter how I am hungry reach, I no go fit do some things. No matter how I hungry, you get some things I no go fit do.
We are not equal. We are not equal. We have what our reckless calls containment. Inner and outer containment. And these are built by our family system and then the society. I shall come back to that one later.
All right.
Now let me look at banditry. Banditry is not a new phenomenon, and in fact it has been experienced in other parts of the world, China, other parts of the world. In fact, it's as old as human race. Now, based on my research, banditry predated the amalgamation of Nigeria, of the northern and southern protectorate, the coming of Nigeria as a country.
Okay.
But that time, the bandits used to attack travelers, those people trading along the northern routes, not in the southwest per se, based on historical evidence. Banditry is an advanced form of terrorism. It's an advanced form of kidnapping. Banditry is a band, a group of individuals well trained in the act of attacking others for economic or other reasons, usually economic reasons. And you can have different types of banditry in a country. One, you can have social banditry, which China experienced. Social banditry is where you have a group of villagers, determined to attack the state, but for a purpose, not for economic reason per se, but to make a statement that you have not been doing what we are entitled to. That is called social banditry. Social banditry is for freedom. Go and attack the state, seize the oil, vandalize a pipeline so that the state can listen to us, but don't request for ransom. We are not interested in ransom. That is social banditry. You have armed banditry. Bandits cooperate without arms because these are experts, criminal experts. They will attack you without even weapons. They will attack you and succeed. So you have armed bandits. So armed bandits will deploy arms, gun and other arms to dispossess their victims and then, seize them for some time, usually for ransom. You have rural banditry. Rural banditry focuses on the benefits within the rural areas. They operate largely within the rural areas. For bandits, one of the ways of identifying bandits is that you have them in a group. They will operate in a group. Whether they use bike or they will operate in a group and they plan. One, they plan that there is a target. And that target, if they deploy this strategy, will be, successfully seized. Two, they will ensure that there is a security lapse, whether from the side of the police or from the military. Three, they will ensure that they will also be safe, that after carrying out the act, they will be safe and they will not be, arrested and they will not lose any of their members. Four is they deploy fear. At times they can write to your community that we are coming to attack you. That is to tell you that this is not a group, this is not a criminal syndicate that will just attack you. No, they have planners and they have those who execute. Another one is community banditry. You are likely to have that in Lagos. The number or in that band may not be as large as the one you have in the rural area. So community banditry occurred during COVID-19 lockdown when a group of boys, young people, gangs began to attack, different streets, in search of food, in search of other property. So you can have community banditry. That's more dangerous. Then you have urban banditry in the city. One thing connects all of them, and that thing is that there is high level of poverty.
Okay.
In any country that you found banditry, it tells you that something is wrong with the economy. The economy is in a bad state. Whether social banditry and banditry, they are trying to balance the inequality between the rich and the poor. And there's no way you'll address it without addressing the state of the economy.
Okay, now I am looking at one more thing again. That is dialogue. You remember Sheikh Gumi? Let's touch a little bit of let's go. Maybe I would love to go politically just a little. You remember Sheikh Gumi said he should be allowed to have a tete-a-tete with these people, the bandits and all of this, kidnappers, especially in the northern part of Nigeria. But what the federal government said, they said no. All right, they refused. Now, do you see dialogue as one other way to go in this whole saga? Having a discussion, a roundtable discussion about all of these things, The
network is bad.
Can you hear me? Hello? Hello?
The network is bad. It's
Okay, but
not clear. I can hear you now.
Okay, I'm talking about dialoguing with the heads of these evil guys. Let me use the word. Do you think dialogue is another way to go to foster peace, to foster more of security in Nigeria? Dialogue with these guys, discuss with them, have a roundtable discussion with them to end violence, to end kidnapping in Nigeria. Ask them what they want. Do you think that's another way to go? Or maybe we should just leave it the way it is and let it be an eye for an eye?
I said earlier that, okay, these organized criminals generally can be divided into two. You have patron clients
Hello? Are you there?
This organized criminal group. So that's the first group. The second group is bureaucratic criminal organized group. Now, for patron clients group, you have a ringleader, somebody that is giving them orders, that is directing their affairs, asking them to carry out attacks, asking them to demand for specific ransom. So in order to be able to identify the patrons, because if you don't know the patrons, you can't solve the problem in a peripheral society like ours. You are not sure whether state actors are involved, whether non-state actors are involved. So if you have people who can talk to them using discreet investigation, get the people behind the scene, negotiation to me is good. And through negotiation, you can as well collect intelligence. Oftentimes, journalists will report that so name, this person is the ringleader in Zamfara, in Kaduna. Target these people when you want to make your arrest. In fact, if you're arrested without arresting the patrons, like wasting your time. So you have to arrest the leaders. And then by arresting the leaders, you get to the roots of the problem. And those who are negotiating for us to can help us to collect into negotiation, but we have to do it with caution. People should not see it as a business. And once it becomes a business, it's going to create another problem. And that does not stop, the enforcement of the law. You have to let the law, the law must take its course. Let the police, perform its role. Let the court perform. So don't use politics to release somebody that is a suspect, somebody that is an obstacle to our national security. You should allow the court to, perform its role. The same thing with the prison system, because politics is one major challenge of our country. When someone is arrested, somebody will, provide a call, hello, this person. So, we have to address all of this if we really, want our country to be secured. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so very much. I think we would want to open up the studio lines now, everyone, to, get your views, your opinion, your comments. Okay, everyone, let's do this all together. What do you think is the solution to all of these myriads of insecurity challenges in Nigeria? All of these plenty issues in our forests. What do you think is the way to go? Some persons have opined that the only way to go is for the federal government to bring about security again to our nation. And we ask, how? Should we start deploying drones, as some persons have stated before now? or do we fast track the issue of state police, or maybe we should give each citizen a gun, like somebody said. Oh yeah, I make everybody carry on. You face me, I face you. Personally, you understand, and all of that. So, or we should get these armed men, or sorry, what do we call them? Vigilantes. Empower our vigilantes in Nigeria. Which way to go, Nigeria, in terms of insecurity? That's a question. That's a big question, before us this morning. Okay, do what to call in. Use the number 0700 903 903 903 0700 903 903 903. Then the WhatsApp number 081 717 56338 081 717 56338. All right, let's go there. Good morning to you.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
My name is Muhammad Yaqub.
Your name is what?
Muhammad Yaqub.
You need to move away from your radio set or turn down the volume. Okay. No, I can hear myself.
Let me.
Do I have this time? Really?
Sir.
Okay. We can talk now.
Okay. Okay, sir. My name is Muhammad Yaqub. I'm calling from Oshodi.
Okay.
Okay. What I need to add concerning security. Because most of our people who are living in that particular region, they don't want to contribute to the development of our community. Take, for example, if something happens in this Oshodi right away, I know all the area where something happens. How we can share all those information together and brought out such people that do such people. When we talk about the federal government, there are those people who are living in that particular state. They know most of those forests, but they don't want to contribute because those people they are afraid. They are afraid. If you are afraid and I'm afraid, who want to contribute to the community? That is what has happened, particularly in the whole Nigeria. That is the thank you, sir.
Very strong point. It's okay. I understand as well. 0700 903 903 903. Yeah. 0700 903 903 903. Good morning to you.
You there?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
You asked a question. First of all, there's one language people use on radio. Political will. Political will. What is political will? Like now, Tinubu, make him invite his predecessor. He made it clear that in fighting Boko Haram is fighting the North. Call him. Let him tell Nigeria how he got them. Let us sit round table. We want to eradicate this thing. Do you understand me?
Yeah.
Then Tinubu invite the security chiefs, the army, the navy, the police. I give you 24 hours to eradicate this thing, or I fire you. They don't have the political will. Some people, some elites are getting from this thing. That is the truth. If you call it very straight, under 24 hours, they say if any insecurity happens in the country, 24 hours, that the federal government know about it. That's what's happening. They know about it. Thank you.
Thank you so very much. All right. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Yeah, I thank your guests. They were able to expand the reasons why things are the way it is. And my name is Sugo.
All right.
Okay. I call you from United Kingdom. Make I speak broken. For you to be a commissioner of police in this part of the world, the people will vote you in. You can't just come from moon. Hello?
Not appointment, Abi?
Not appointment. Every office in Nigeria is given by who know who. Are you getting it? That is why you will see the lads in office. And they see this kind of men that came to studio this morning that understand the situation. They will be begging in the street trying to manage one small job or the other. Why those who know nothing and knew nothing we occupy the big offices. Okay? Any nation when masses no get work, forget about it. Listen to your news and tune any other countries you know that is developing, not underdeveloped, and they listen to the kind of the news they give on daily basis. Then you will pity your country, Nigeria. I continue telling you that we always say we have everything. We don't have anything in Nigeria. The evidence that you have, the evidence that you have a thing is that you own seat. That is the evidence. Are you getting it?
Mm-hmm.
We have nothing and we own nothing. That's where we are currently. No right leadership, no working companies. You understand? You will wonder why is it that Nigerians are bagging first class in other nations of the world, but when they are back home, they will have nothing to show for whatever they are doing. It's quite a pity that you have this kind of men. They will be like spanner in someone's pocket. Instead of heading an office, they will bring one man who have nothing to offer to be heading them. Decision on behalf of others. It's a pity. Well done, sir.
Thank you. Thank you so very much. Appreciate your call. Hello. Good morning to you. Hello. Or maybe you change your location and then before you call. Thank you. 0700 903 903 903. WhatsApp 08171756338. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning, sir. My name is Pat.
Where is Pat calling from?
I'm calling from Morile Gomo.
Beautiful.
I just heard somebody spoke about the political will. I think the security of the nation has become very porous. Honestly, we need the security chiefs to come together, profile the youths in their communities, and then the chiefs and the others and what we bring them together to work in conjunction with the police chief. The security chiefs. By so doing, these youths are moving about without doing anything. Profile them, teach them what to do, and then arm them. I think we will be able to have a headway through this security. Thank you so very much.
Appreciate your call. Thank you, and thank you, and thank you again. Yeah. Okay. Can I? Let me see if I can read a couple of messages too as regards this. But then, everyone, you can just call in using 0700 903 903 903. Just dial that number and talk to me. Good morning.
Hello. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning to you. My name is Mike. I'm calling from the southern area of Lagos.
Welcome.
Yeah. I've been following your discussions. There's a saying that when the head is rotten, the downside that not you can get out of it. I've always said on this type of discussion that Nigeria was working. There was that time, even in this Lagos, you can move around 9 morning and nothing happens. No harassment, no embarrassing for whatever. But today, what are we doing on ground? And there was a saying from Abacha, the letter Abacha. He said that when a crime lasted for more than 24 hours, government hands are in it. Now tell me, Fulani headsmen, as rated as they are, how could they have acquired AK-47? AK-47 cannot be less than close to $1 million for one AK-47. And you see wretched men following cows carrying AK-47. So my beloved brother, let us know the things I said. The time has come when we shall start to.
Hello? What happened? Sorry. Please call back. I guess it has to do with your network. Call back, okay? Call back. Yeah. I just want to take a couple of messages and calls before I go this morning. Thank you. 0700 903 903 903 is still the number to call, and then messages to 081 717 338. Okay, that's where you can send your message. Okay, let's see. This person is saying something. He said, it's quite lengthy though, but then what do I do? Are we so divided, tuned out, and will continue to let criminality invade our moral compass? There's a big question there. Okay, this person is saying, thank you for your rich discourse. Please, what is the actual definition of politics? Because it seems to encompass all sort of impunity, illegality, continued destruction of institutions, and at the expense of building individuals. As a sociologist, kindly let your guest give the proper clarity. Thank you so much, Simi Sola from Isolo. Simi, where have you been, really? I want to see your face, really. I want to see your face, Simi. Thank you, anyway. Doctor, are you there with us? Hello? Is Doctor still there? There's a question I want to ask you, but it's okay. It's okay. Let's leave it there. 0700 903 903 903. Yes. Good morning.
Hello. Good morning.
Good morning, dear.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Look at me, Jude.
Hi.
This is Akaja from Okota.
Welcome.
Yeah, I want to contribute to the topic.
Okay.
You see, you're talking about banditry and insecurity. You see, to my own personal opinion, I will tell you, presently, the number one challenge we have now in terms of insecurity is our electoral system is insecurity or itself. You know why I say this? You see, during every election, you see politicians hiring machines for them to win election, giving them one thing or the other for enforcement. Did you ask them after the election, did they collect those things that they gave to them? No. Okay, you see that after the election, those boys, they will just be using that, they will just be using that for fun. Yeah? They will use it now. So the politicians are not telling us the truth. We need to do something about our electoral system. Our electoral system is one of the insecurity we are passing through in this country. Okay, for instance, last year election, you see what happened? There was a lot of weapons outside to make sure that some people did not vote. Then after the election, did you collect those people from those guys? The answer is no. Okay, now you are talking about insecurity. Okay, now apart from that, you know that now we are talking about insecurity. In some years to come, we'll be having a lot of health challenge. As a result of people not feeling well, because the diet is not more there. So the bottom line is that let them create jobs. Let them give us quality education. That is the solution to go. Thank you. That's my contribution this morning.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so very much. It's a very good one. You mentioned, really. I wanted to talk to this person. Oh, sorry. The line went off. Please call back if you can. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Yes, good morning.
Yeah, I'm Mr. Anthony calling from Mapolu.
Anthony, let's have you.
I'm just trying to tell you that we are sitting on a time bomb.
Who, me?
And when it blasts,
wait,
I don't know.
Are you talking about me or who?
Our youth doesn't have job. No job in the country.
Okay.
And you are talking of all these kidnappers and all this. They are the people doing it with the feel and Fulani. When government doesn't create jobs, how do you think the country will move forward? And nothing to do in the country. Even what are you expecting from the government? No drinking water. Even common drinking water, there is nothing government is giving to us.
Okay.
Tell me what you are gaining from the government. Then you are talking of insecurity. A country which is not providing for the citizens. What is the government doing? They are only thinking of themselves. Please, we are sitting on the time bomb. We must be very careful. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. I fear when you first talk, say I am sitting on the time. I look away, my brother. I look away first. Okay. Hello. Good morning to you. Hello.
Hello. Good morning.
All right. No, doctor, please hold on. Okay. Yeah, we can hear you. Go ahead, please.
Hello.
Yes, we can hear you. Good morning to you.
Yeah.
My name is Johnson. I'm speaking from London.
All right.
Yeah, because I keep listening to this, and I listened to Rufai recently, and I'm happy with what he said. But my problem is this. Now, APC using the other man, this, what do you call him now? This former minister and governor of Lagos State, that put now confusion on the living wage as salary or wages. But now the question is, they're bringing these tactics in just to destabilize labor. But the question is this: they should be able to understand that people are waiting for this thing for their livelihood. So organized labor should go back on strike. If not, these people are not going to listen.
All right.
And if you look at it, now Tinubu wants to buy another plane. For the past 2 years or 3 years, all this equipment have been bad. That's what they are saying now. Who is in charge of that? Why is that person who is in charge is taking money for free? And they are not doing anything about it.
Right.
So it's a bit absurd. Now labor, the organized labor should go on strike, close the grid, and let everybody run into haters skater, because if they don't hold them reasonably, they will just mess up the whole thing. That's my take.
Thank you so very much for talking to us. Yeah, thank you. You know, all those people did that side, and everybody get what they can sign up. So I just have to leave him to say what he wants to say. I'm telling you, it's okay. It's okay. VOP 90.3 FM. Let's take more calls. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Jude Ikane Jude, a very good friend.
Good morning to you.
God bless you. My name is Peter Usifo. I'm calling from Abanojo.
All right.
Yeah, on the question you asked concerning insecurity in Nigeria, that is, what is the way out or the way forward?
Yeah.
First of all, I must say that insecurity in Nigeria, the solution for insecurity in Nigeria lies in the hands of every Nigerian, especially our leaders. Because I've come to believe that many people, especially the political leaders and of course the financial or economic elite, they derive, gains from this insecurity. Many people cause insecurity so that they can, gain from it. Especially when there is war. For instance, when there is war, you find people, very few people who gain from that war. That is those people who make arms and ammunition. The late Afon Zeribe is a good example to fight in this case. But coming to Nigeria at the moment, yes, though somebody has just called earlier and said that the masses always talking about political power, or that is the political will, the political will as it were. It is true. Political will, the more the political will by the political leader. Like the South, the United Arab Emirates did at a point in time, for the 400 people, 400 names to the government of Buhari, and we know that government is a continuum. This government has that in their record, but they have not done anything. So what are we saying? They won't come to state policing. In my own opinion, I think the best thing to, as a pilot team, is to go regional policing. As a pilot team, that is better than state policing. And and I believe that these Fulani people who are shepherds, or the herdsmen, who are equipped, by carrying AK-47, AK-49, they don't get it themselves. They are only equipped by the political leaders and people who send them with these cows and sheep that they using going around. So, my own final conclusion or my final solution is that we should work on intelligence and then equip the police force. Now, the political leaders know this, that is the solution, but they don't want to do it because many of them gain from it. So, they should equip this force very well, employ more, and of course, not only the police force, but the security agents, you understand, should be well equipped. You should be well equipped. We have trackers. When they have trackers, they'll be able to, succumb or bring these bandits, kidnappers, and so on, terrorists into submission. So this is my own submission for now. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Peter Osifo. Doctor, just a question before I let you go. What, generally speaking, before I start taking more calls, what would you say? What solution would you prefer to these menace? Quickly.
It's not a one-way thing. There are several factors, like I told you earlier. The situation is deep and complex.
Okay.
And again, I will emphasize effective policy on the economy. We have to introduce a welfare state approach to the management of our economic crisis. Nigerians need the support of the government, of those in government. And once you're able to address that, create more jobs for people, provide the opportunity for farmers to go to their farm and, secure the farming environment or the farm. So the crisis, the issue of food insecurity will be properly managed. And then you come to crime prevention. We don't just deploy technologies. We deploy technologies based on the areas of need. And so, for instance, in places where you think CCTV cameras will help you, after deploying the technologies, what is the follow-up? Are those CCTV cameras really working? Who is monitoring their efficiency? To what extent are you integrating the communities where these crimes are routinely experienced? So communities must be integrated into crime prevention. And a new strategy is the integration of religious, houses and religious leaders. There was in somewhere recently where I was asked to discuss drug use and, with imams and the rest. And then one imam called my attention and said, look, the government knows the people who are taking drugs. Why do they invite us to come and discuss drug use here? And they don't listen to us. So government needs to listen to religious leaders. They are stakeholders. They are critical stakeholders in crime prevention. And then lastly is state police. Okay. State police, I would say that, okay, you don't want me to speak on that one?
No, it's okay. You can say something.
Okay, okay, state police, I will agree that is now that we need state police, because the governor, as it were, the governor is just there, constitutionally is not empowered. The powers to police the community come from the IG to the commissioner of police. But the governor manages the fund. He has the funds. He does not have the constitutional power to direct a police officer. The commissioner of police, has the power, but the commissioner of police does not have the fund. So we have to look at this constitutional crisis and resolve it. And I'm sure that with time, we'll overcome the problems of insecurity in the country. Thank you.
Thank you so very much. Associate Professor of Sociology in the University of Lagos, Dr. Waziri Babatunde Adisa. Thank you so very much for talking to us this morning on the show.
Thank you. Thank you.
I do appreciate you. Have a great day today.
Thank you, Mr. Joseph.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Bye.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right, voice of the people. Joseph is still with me, and so don't worry. You are in safe hands. Okay, let's see if we can take more calls before we wrap things up this morning. All right, several messages and calls, of course. Let's do this one first. Good morning. Hello. Good morning. Okay, it's all right. Somebody saying, he said banditry and kidnapping will not stop because those in authority have hands in it, and it has become a lucrative business. And of course, they know what they are making out of it. That's what he's saying. All right. Hello. Good morning.
Hello. Yeah. Good morning.
Yeah. Good morning.
Yeah. Please, about my contribution, is being caused by corruption. If you watch what happened in Afghanistan, the people do not want to resume for the same people that are ruling. Eventually, they have to, Taliban has to take over. They even have no money to pay the salary of the workers, of the soldiers. So that is the problem. Our politicians, the money they are eating, they should share some of the money to the masses. There will be security. Somebody has no job. No, he has a family. Somebody has just finished graduating, nothing to do. So they should know how to share the money. So you read everybody, not for them alone. Secondly, tribal and religious sentiment. Somebody he has done wrong, so to punish him, say, because he's from my religion. Let's just integrate him. How do they call it? He'll go back to what he has been doing. So that's the problem.
It's okay.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate your call. Thank you. All right. Somebody saying insecurity is caused by corruption, religious and tribal sentiments. Our brothers in the north should watch it, because this is how it happened in Afghanistan, and Taliban took over. Amechi from Festac sent in that message. Hello, good morning to you. Hello, good morning. Okay. The problem of our leaders are not being accountable to the problem in insecurity on its own is another one. Okay, for example, Tinubu's government is saying that all the presidential aircraft are bad, but they forgot that the Second and Third World War planes are still in use. Who are the people in charge of those aircraft maintenance? Have our leaders asked what happened to those? Those aircraft. That means some people are feeding on those aircraft. Chine and Mary from Agbara. So the World War, the World War II and III war planes are still in use, Abi.
Yeah, I think some of those they just need maintenance.
Not before Nigeria.
They just need maintenance. I think for me, this is security for everybody have to be on board. And how to be on board is the politicians, those that are in government, the way they behave is as if it is only them that are in Nigeria. Maybe we are from Cameroon or from Ghana. Because if you look at the conversation that they will be having, we have security challenge, we have food challenge, and the rest of them. Before you know what is happening, a bill was old national anthem become new without. People ask, yes, it's good we sing.
And hear what about you said about
look at the Senate number 3 citizen of Federal Republic of Nigeria, the Senate president. He says something as if, are you sure we are serious? You understand? So if they continue with this way, a time is coming, like what the associate professor is saying. We need to be extra careful, so that if you are assuming that I'm not part of the system, I will say, okay, nothing spoil. Since you are not the only Nigeria, we are not Nigeria. It's becoming extra difficult. So our leaders their conversation should align with our own conversation. And if they want to do anything, and we are saying, please, can you do this? Look at the issue of the conversation about the coastal road to Calabar and the rest of them. People are saying, okay, this coastal road is, yes, we need it. But the one that Porto and the rest of them, fix this one. Just do rehabilitation
Lagos
on
East.
This one. You understand? Yes. The other day I was going to Abuja through road, and before it becoming extra difficult, extremely difficult. Because the reason was, a friend of mine wanted to go to Abuja, early morning flight. He got to Abuja in the evening. Just cancellation, adjustment, and the rest of them. And the person that go through the road, they're almost the same time in Abuja. You understand? So we want to beg our leaders. They should be let us operate at close to the same level. Not that things are extremely very, very. A lot of Nigeria become practically beggars. You know, not that they want to do it, not that they want to beg for them to take care of their loved one, but the salary is not there. Then some people, if you are driving, some people are begging you for a lift, because if you have to spend the salary for transport, in fact, it's going to be very, very difficult. You go to some schools, parents are owing school fees. Parents now maybe a school fees of maybe 100K, 200K. People are even paying more than 5 times. Thank God that we have some school that understand with the parents. Okay, be paying it, pay 20, pay 30, pay 50. So let our leaders come to our level. Let them understand that things are extremely difficult.
Thank you so very much, Joseph Folorenshaw. Thank you. Thank you again for coming on the show again today. Appreciate you. Everyone, it's time to go. Look at the time. We need to run. We need to fly, in short. Okay? My name is Jude. Ikami Jude. On social media, I am Ikami Jude. IKAMIJUDEH. It's just one word. And then I will